Hi there, welcome to Transcona Trailer Sales. Today I'm going to be walking you through your 2024 Wildwood 44View. We're just going to start off at the back of the trailer here. If you notice down by the bottom, you have a cable satellite inlet, and then you do have a ladder so you can get up to your roof to check your seals. On this side of the trailer, you have your main 50 amp power inlet. You just take a note of this little silver notch here and these two tabs. They line up with that silver notch and the two little rounded out spots for those tabs. If you just line those guys up, press in, you get the threaded collar to really lock it down. And if you follow that cord back, you do come to a standard 50 amp plug end. A lot of campsites don't have this plug-in, so we do include a 30 amp park adapter. Just keep it in mind you're going down to 30 amps of power, so you wouldn't be able to run both your air conditioners, just one air conditioner at a time. And then from there we also include a 15 amp park adapter where you wouldn't be able to use any air conditioners. In this back corner here is going to be one of your sewer outlets. You are just twisting that knob off, pulling that off. Just take a note of those ears there. Those are going to be the same ears that are on your sewer hose, which I'll show you in a little bit. You do have 3 of these guys. This one here is going to be for your back bathroom gray. A little bit further ahead, you do have your exterior shower. It's just going to be your 731 key, which should come included with your unit. Fold that down. You got a exterior shower with hot and cold water. Up here, this little access panel here, you're just going to stick your main door key inside this lock here because it does say M. Twisting that, you're opening that up, and that gives you the bypass valves for your hot water tank right up top here. Closing that up. Right down below that is your service port for your hot water heater. You got your pressure relief valve down at the bottom here. You're always going to want to give that guy a pull whenever you first get to your campsite. There should be a little shot of water that comes out of there, letting you know that there is water in the system. This is going to be your main power on switch. You turn that on. That's going to turn on power to your access panel, which you have inside. Right down here, you do have your black tank flush. So while you have your sewer connected and your tank and your black tank open, you're just going to thread that garden hose in there, turn that on, and that's just going to rinse that tank out, helping deal with false monitor panel readings or an odor inside the unit, just trying to help keep that thing that much cleaner. And right here you do have another sewer outlet. You got a gray valve and a black valve. Your black valve is going to be your dirtiest water filled from your toilets, and then you do have your gray valve, which is typically cleaner water filled from your sinks or your showers. You got 2 low point drains here. The way those guys work is, let's say you're leaving the unit for a while, you don't want the water going stale or stagnant. You're just going to turn these guys, and it's just going to drain all the water that's inside the lines out. You do have another sewer outlet right here, which has another gray and another black. And then following up front here, you do have one more black valve, which is right up front here, which is going to be for that half bath you have. And that is going to be for the toilet. Inside this compartment here, you're just going to flip this open, and this is just going to be a service port for your... This is just going to be a service port for your stove. There's not much you have to worry about there. Or sorry, this is for your fridge. This is going to be for your ice maker. That valve is going to be right here for your ice maker. Right down below, you do have your fresh tank drain. You open up this guy, that's going to drain that fresh water tank. You have another flush, black tank flush up here. That's for that front bath. Then you do have your city water connection. So let's say you're at a site with service, you can just thread a garden hose in there, turn on your water. It's going to pressurize all your lines without needing to run your water pump. Then you do just have a fresh water tank fill right here. That's going to fill your fresh water tank. That's what your water pump draws off of. Whenever your furnace is running, this little silver plate here is going to be pushing out hot air, so just be mindful of that. Inside this front compartment here, you do just have some storage and a nice little tray for the outside of the unit, and that's also where you're going to find your 25-foot water hose, your 15 amp perk adapter, as well as your 20-foot sewer hose. You do get access from this panel inside underneath your bed as well. battery, which is housed right up front here. And then you do have 2 propane tanks right in the front. That's going to work pretty simple. You're just going to open up this little cap here. These guys are going to pop on open. That's going to give you access to both tanks, and you do have a little selector valve right up front here. With the arrow pointed this way, you're going to be running off this tank, and with the arrow pointed the opposite way, you're going to be running off that opposite tank. This cover does just slide off, it's not screwed on. You're just going to open that up to open the flow of propane to the unit. You got your tongue jack, one way is up, the other way is down. On this side of the unit, you do have 110 plugins. You do have a patio door set, which we would have to unlock from up front, but the stairs do work the same front and rear. You're just pulling those down and folding them out. Then this assist handle, you're just pushing up, folding it 90 degrees. It locks into place and will allow you to climb on inside. Then we get to the rear door, which we're going to be entering through today. You're just going to pull those stairs down. They're going to fold out. Take your door handle, open it up. Taking a step inside. You do just have to climb over to the couch to get over to the slide out button. You're just pushing that slide out button out and holding it, and the slide out's going to start making its way out. Just making sure that you double check on either side of the slide. Just making sure you check either side of the slide, making sure that there's nothing in the way that you're going to run into. So we'll make our way to the front of the unit, the back of the unit here. We will just start off in the bathroom. You're just taking this door, it doesn't open like a regular door, you're just kind of pushing and sliding at the same time. It'll allow you to get inside. And then you have your light switch right on your left. You get your sink with hot cold water. You also have your main GFI plug. Whenever that green light's on, it's telling you the circuit isn't tripped. If you ever have an outlet that doesn't work, this would be the first place I check. You got test on the bottom, reset in the middle. Whenever that green light's on, it's just telling you that you have a successful power source. You got your max air fan in the back here. The way that works is you're just pushing that little black button in, pushing out. You're hitting that button up top, and it's going to evacuate all that air. Then to turn it up, turn it off, you're just pulling that back inside. You got some storage space inside here. You also have your main breaker and fuse panel down below. You're just plopping that open. Whenever a fuse trips, it's going to sit in the middle, so you just have to turn it off and then back on again to reset it. Whenever you have a fuse blow, there'll be a little red indicator light telling you which one it was. Behind me, inside this little closet area, open this up. You are pre-wired for a washer dryer. You got your sink with hot and cold water. And you also have your shower, which has multiple options, lots of heads. Taking a step up. Inside here, you do have your central vac system, which all the tools for that are located underneath the front bed. And then you do have what's called a dustpan. You just open this up and it'll suck up any debris that you have in front of there. Just keep in mind, it's only really made to suck up sand or dirt. You're not going to be wanting to suck up any large rocks or particles because it does go in a bag, which you can open up by just opening this guy up. You're just giving that a pull. It'll pop open and it'll allow you to get access to that bag so you can change it. And then you can just push it back into place and it'll just pop into place. And then just to turn it on, you just hit that button. Taking a step on up these stairs, you do have a light switch right on the wall. And really it's just a little bed area up top here with some storage space for some clothes. Not much other than that up here. Down below, you do have this light switch right on the wall, turning that on. It does turn on that ceiling fan right above your head there. And then you do have your little entertainment center, which I will show you on the wall here. you're gonna have a bunch of switches for different shades, and your TV lift is on this switch as well. Whenever the switch is pushed up, it's gonna be activating that. So having that TV up, we'll bring that TV up. And then you can do the same thing to bring it down. If you were to want to hide it away for some extra counter space. And then by turning that TV lift switch off, you can activate all your shades by going up or down, and it will do all the ones just in the main living space. It does not do the ones in the bedrooms or the bathrooms. And just turning those switches off, you can also operate them all individually. And then you do have a couple light switches here. Turning this light on just turns these couple lights on over your head above the patio door. You got your pendant light in the middle, and then one more does an accent light above the slide out. Inside the little seating area here, you got some lights above head, which just are on their own center push buttons. You can turn them on and off as you please. This couch does fold out to a bed. You're just having to remove those cushions out of the way. You're just grabbing the foot of that couch and pulling out, and that bed will make its way out. And then you just fold the legs down, and it'll be in a bed, and you can flip the backrest down. To get it back in, you're just pushing and holding, and it goes back into place, and you can take those back cushions, put them back in place. All the blinds in the unit do work the same way. You can't manually operate these guys, but any of the other ones are just going to kind of sit where you leave them, and you're just going to pull them once and they'll retract. Inside here, you're just giving that a pull. You do have a little travel latch on the door here. Popping that open will allow you to open that up fully. You do have a little pantry space. Again, just always making sure you're locking that travel strap if you are moving around with the unit. Underneath here, you do have some bench seating for the island. And then in the kitchen area, you do have your stove. Turning on these lights. The stove and the furnace in this unit both run off propane, liquid propane. Propane's heavier than air. We do have an LP detector right around underneath this island here. Propane's heavier than air. If this guy ever starts going off, it's just letting you know that you're getting to worrisome levels. So you just got to open up a few windows and turn on the vent and just kind of air it out a little bit and turn off the main supply propane at the front of the unit. And then you do have a little light switch under there as well to turn on an accent light underneath this island. Getting back to the stove. To get it to light, you're just turning that knob over to light while pushing in, and eventually it does light up. And they all do light up. To get the oven going, it does take a little bit longer, but you're just taking this knob, turning it over to the pilot option and holding that in. Don't panic if you've had the propane off for a few weekends and you haven't been out. Air does manage to make its way into the propane lines when the system's off. And as you can see, it is starting to flame, but it just needs to be held in a little bit longer so that all that air is out of the lines. As soon as all the air is out of the lines, the pilot will hold its own, but sometimes it does take a few minutes. As you can see, you just got to keep trying. Sometimes even turning it on all the way, leaving it for a few seconds. Don't leave it on too long because the gas does start to build up and you don't want that to go boom. And again, just holding down that pilot option with the igniter going, and eventually that pilot will light and hold its own. Now that that pilot's lit, you just turn it up to your desired temperature and it fires right on up. Inside the kitchen, you also have some drawer space. You got your convection oven, which also has a fan, low and high, and it does have a light built in as well. You got your household style fridge. So this fridge is only going to work whenever you're hooked up to shore power. You do have these travel straps so that they don't go, it doesn't open up while you're traveling. Taking those off, you can open this up and it does give you access to that. You do have all your controls right up top here. Then you got your freezer below, which does have an ice maker built in. The switch to turn that on is just down right below here. But you are just gonna have to make sure you have that water line hooked up. And when it comes to winterization, it is one more thing that you do have to winterize if you use it. Inside here, you do have a half bathroom with just a toilet and a sink. Turning that light on, you just got a toilet and a sink with hot and cold water, as well as a fan inside there as well. Up top here, you do have another bedroom area. Light switch just is on the right on the wall, and you do have the second AC in the rear up top there. The controls for that AC are in the main bedroom. This AC is going to control that front AC. Whenever you are running these ACs, you have a couple options. You can run them with the louvers closed, in which case it's going to move all its air through the ceiling ducting throughout the unit, or you can open up the louvers and it's going to dump all its air right out of that main console area there. To use that air conditioner, you are just coming to that thermostat. You're going to hit that button once and it's just going to illuminate itself. Hitting it one more time, you're going to get into fan low. So now at this point, it is just the fan moving air around inside the air conditioner. There's no heating or cooling involved. Hitting that button one more time and you get into fan high. At this point, again, it's just the fan on high speed. One more time will bring you into cool high. So at this point, now the air conditioner comes into effect and you're going to be running full time on high fan. One more time, you get into cool low. Same thing, but on a low fan. Then you get into cool low auto. Now it becomes an on-demand system based off the thermostat. The set thermostat temperature is going to kick in and out as needed. Same thing on the high fan. Then you get to heat, which is going to turn your furnace on. This is also the thermostat that's going to be turning that furnace on. Whenever you turn the furnace off, it is just going to run for about 30 more seconds just so it can cool down. Then on the wall here, you do have your little control center and your monitor panels. So you got your battery, your fresh. Your battery will go empty, thirds, 2/3, and then full. And then you got your fresh, your black 1, your black 2, your gray, and your galley. The galley is going to be for the kitchen sink. The gray is going to be for the galley is going to be for the kitchen sink and the rear bedroom and the rear bathroom. The gray is going to be for your one bathroom here. And then you got your black 1 and your black 2. Black 1 is going to be for that back bathroom. The black 2 is going to be for this front bathroom. Then you got your water pump switch, turning that on, turns the water pump on, which draws out of your fresh tank. And then you got a light switch, which turns on the outside LED strip underneath the awning. Then you got your ceiling light switch, which you have to turn that on and then hit that dimmer, and it turns all the 12-volt lights on in the main living space. Anytime you can hold that dimmer, it's going to dim those lights. It's going to go from dim to bright. Turning that switch on does turn off those lights, and then you got your outside speaker lights, which just illuminate blue when you hit that switch. And then you do have your main little system for your water heater. Turning that button on, it's just going to activate the heater. It's currently going to tell you your current output temp, which is 15 degrees Celsius. And you can set at any point up and down is going to turn the set temperature to what you would like it. Hitting that button again does just turn it off, and then you can change it between Celsius and Fahrenheit just with the touch of that button. Upstairs, I showed you that already. You do have some storage space on the wall here, which is quite nice. You do have your awning switch right outside here, so you're hitting that button extend. That awning's going to start making its way out. Once fully extended, you're going to see the back of the metal tube and the little flap hang down. Keeping in mind, whenever it does start to get windy, around 5 to 10 km/h winds, you are just going to want to roll this awning in so you don't run the risk of bending anything. Now that we're fully extended, if you want to follow me, if it were to start raining, you can take any arm front or rear and pull down on it. And it's going to change the pitch of the awning head, allowing the water to then run off. Now, if you do like that angle better, you can do the same thing with the front arm, and it's going to allow for more shade underneath. Just always make sure you do turn these back to straight whenever you bring it in. That way you don't bend anything. Bringing it in is just as simple as hit and retract and waiting for it to contact the side of the trailer. Opening up this door does bring you into the main bedroom. Taking a step on inside. First thing I'm going to show you, you got this drawer here, which is labeled antifreeze inlet. You're taking this drawer, you got 2 plastic tabs on either side. You're just pushing those guys like so, and that's going to allow that drawer to slide out. And now you get access to your water pump for your bypass valve, and you do get your little hose that you can stick inside your pail of coolant for winterization. To get that back inside, you are just lining up those rails, pushing it back in there. Just making sure you do have that hose out of the way, otherwise it will not let you put that back in. You got a little fireplace inside the bedroom area. Hitting that power button once, it's going to turn it on. You can change your different flame color with the button right beside the far right. And then you can change your rock color with the middle button. And then you have your temperature selection. You can go from high, low and high. And then you got a timer, which goes anywhere from 30 minutes to 9 hours. And then just the power button to turn it off. Again, inside the bedroom areas, the blinds do just kind of sit where you leave them, and pulling them once, it's going to allow them to then retract. Inside this bedroom here, you do have a second thermostat. Now that's only going to control the upper AC in the bunk area. It's not going to do anything else, and it works the same way as the front AC. And then you do have a VersaTilt bed. Pushing that button up allows that bed to then inch up, and then you can push that button down, and the bed's going to start making its way down. That's going to be it for this unit here. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call.